Good day and welcome to the GameStop Corporation Annual Meeting of Stockholders. Today's meeting is being recorded. At this time, I would like to turn the meeting over to Matt Furlong. Please go ahead, sir.
Good morning. I'm Matt Furlong, GameStop's Chief Executive Officer and a member of the company's Board of Directors. I'll be the presiding officer at this meeting. Please note that any electronic recording or live streaming of this meeting is prohibited. Before calling the meeting to order, I want to thank all of you, our valued stockholders, on behalf of the board and the rest of the organization. Your unmatched passion and sustained support for GameStop have been absolutely critical over the past 12 months, and they'll remain key differentiators for us in the year ahead. We remain incredibly fortunate to have you in our corner as we pursue a transformation and solidify a new customer-obsessed culture across every facet of the business. Many of the new initiatives we're pursuing, such as launching a digital wallet and an NFT marketplace, reflect our commitment to making sure GameStop is delighting customers as gaming and technology evolve. It is thanks to you that we're now thinking bigger, pushing harder, and working with more intensity than ever before. We're going to continue applying all of this energy to building a stronger commerce business and pragmatically pursuing long-term opportunities in the blockchain gaming and digital asset worlds. Please trust that we will continue to fight for you and your interests as stockholders. We know that many of you are individual stockholders rather than institutional investors. We never take your enthusiasm or your investment for granted. And I speak for the full board when I say that we're proud to be aligned with you. Let me now turn to introducing my fellow directors who are in attendance virtually. Alan Attal, Larry Chang, Ryan Cohen, Jim Gruby, and Yang Zhu. In addition, present today virtually from our independent public accountants, Deloitte & Touche, are Mark Lacey and Norma Cisneros. My colleague, Mark Robinson, who is GameStop's General Counsel and Secretary, will also assist in conducting the meeting. I will turn the meeting over to him now.
Good morning, and thanks, Matt. This is Mark. The rules of conduct and the agenda for today's meeting are posted on the virtual meeting portal. In order to conduct an orderly and efficient meeting, we ask that participants abide by the rules. Michael Verrecchia of Morrow Sodali has been appointed to act as the Inspector of Election for this meeting. Mr. Verrecchia took an oath of inspection of election prior to the meeting. If any stockholders here today have not yet voted and would like to do so, you may submit your vote during this meeting until the polls are announced closed. At the close of business on April 8, 2022, the record date for this meeting, there were 76,339,024 shares of the company's Class A common stock with one vote per share identified as outstanding and entitled to vote on all matters presented at this meeting. There are present at this meeting, in person or by proxy, more than a majority of all the shares entitled to cast votes at this meeting. Subject to confirmation by the Inspector of Election, I find that a quorum is present and this meeting is duly constituted for the transaction of business. The first item on our agenda is the election of 6 directors, with each to serve as a director until the annual meeting of stockholders in 2023 and until his or her successor is duly elected and qualified. The company's nominees are Mr. Furlong, Mr. Attell, Mr. Chang, Mr. Cohen, Mr. Gruby, and Ms. Zhu. The second item on our agenda is the adoption and approval of the GameStop Corp. 2022 Incentive Plan. The third item on our agenda is the proposal to approve, on a non-binding advisory basis, the compensation of named executive officers of the company. The fourth item on our agenda is the ratification of the Audit Committee's appointment of Deloitte & Touche as the company's independent registered public accounting firm for the company's fiscal year ending January 28, 2023. The fifth item on our agenda is the approval of an amendment to the company's third amended and restated certificate of incorporation to increase the number of authorized shares of the company's Class A common stock to 1 billion shares, which we refer to as the Authorized Shares Amendment. No stockholder director nominations or other stockholder proposals were properly submitted under SEC Rule 14a-8 or in accordance with the company's advance notice or proxy access bylaw provisions. It is now 10:05 a.m. I declare the polls are now open, and I will now call a vote on the 5 proposals. Anyone who wishes to change their previous vote or has not yet voted and wants to vote should at this time cast their vote electronically. We will also use this time to answer any stockholder questions on the specific matters under consideration at this meeting. It looks like I'm primarily seeing questions related to our business rather than the topics of the meeting. Matt, I'll turn it over to you to maybe answer a few of those if you're willing.
Sure, thanks, Mark. I'm seeing quite a few different questions about our focus areas as well as our aim to be a technology company. So let me start by touching on that briefly. As we've stated in the past, growing and transforming into more of a tech-centric company are certainly among our top priorities. If you look at a few of our initiatives, they definitely reinforce our direction in this area. One that I would highlight is that we're continuing to pragmatically expand our product catalog as we seek to diversify our revenue streams. And you can see this in some of the new categories that we're emphasizing in areas like virtual reality, PC gaming, and other expansion categories. At the same time, we're establishing a footprint in areas like blockchain gaming, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs. We expect all of these will be a critical part of the future of gaming as well as our customers' lives, and we're excited to be at the center of that as things continue to evolve. I'm also seeing a few questions related to our stores, asking what the future store may look like and how many stores we should expect to operate in the future. This is a good question. I think the short answer here is that we continue to expect our stores to remain an important part of the business over the long term. And I have to say that I've been blown away as I've gotten out to visit stores over the past year by the enthusiasm from our store managers and associates as I've gotten to know them. They're certainly a key part of our future and reinforce that our store fleet is a critical differentiator that allows us to connect with customers and gamers on a deeper level. So it's certainly a valuable asset for us, and we're excited about the potential of our store footprint as we go forward. I see a couple of questions asking about how we're thinking of our pre-owned business and where that fits into our future. I think the headline here is that we're quite excited about the potential of our pre-owned business. We view this as another differentiator for us and a critical part of our opportunity to delight customers. If you think about pre-owned, it provides a great value for our customers, not only at sale when they can find an item at a great price relative to a new offering, but also at trade-in when we can give them cash for previously used games, hardware, and electronics. I should also point out that on the electronics front, we've been expanding the set of products that we take in as trades, particularly in areas like mobile phones, as well as tablets, smartwatches, and other categories. So we certainly see that as a great differentiator in the marketplace and a great value for customers. It's also worth noting that there's a great environmental benefit here as well as we think about reducing electronic waste, and we're going to continue to reinforce this area as we go forward. I'm also seeing a number of questions about the blockchain space and our efforts there, so let me touch on that. First, I would say that GameStop has a unique opportunity in this space, given our long-standing relationship with gamers. We've learned from the past mistakes at the company where we haven't embraced new technology and new trends in the segment, and we're excited to be at the forefront in blockchain in this area. I should call out that our GameStop beta wallet has seen a very positive initial reaction as well. And if you look at the reviews on the Chrome store, they're 5 stars with a lot of enthusiasm and support for where we're heading in that space. So we're excited about what we've developed there and look forward to driving that forward. We're also focused on integrating that wallet with leading Web3 players as well as our own NFT marketplace. And as I've disclosed in the past, we intend to launch our marketplace product in the second quarter. We're certainly excited about the potential there, and I have to say I think our blockchain team has done a great job building a great product for customers. So looking forward to seeing that continue to evolve and putting GameStop at the center of where we believe gaming is headed with ownable digital assets. I also see, Mark, a few questions related coming in on the prospective share split, asking how large the share dividend would be, when it might take effect, et cetera. So I'll turn it back to you maybe to speak to that.
Yeah, sure. Happy to, Matt. I think the short answer on that is that the board has not yet made any final decisions on the stock split. If the share authorization is approved today, we'll proceed with amending the charter to include the increase in the amount of authorized shares. And then once that's complete, the board will take up the matter, analyze market conditions to determine when and if a stock split is really in the best interest of the shareholders. I also saw quite a few questions just relating to whether GameStop will allow IRA and 401k shares to be registered directly with our transfer agent. I just say this on that. We definitely appreciate the enthusiasm of our shareholders and a desire to invest through these different products. As far as I know at this time, our transfer agent is not an IRA custodian, and so that's not possible currently. All right, it is now 10:12 a.m. I see no further pertinent questions at this time, and I declare the polls are now closed. Inspector, please tabulate the votes on all of the proposals.
Thank you, Mark. I am pleased to report the results of the proposals as follows. Item 1, Mr. Furlong, Mr. Attal, Mr. Chang, Mr. Cohen, Mr. Gruby, and Ms. Zhu have each received a majority of the votes cast, and they have been elected directors. Item 2, the GameStop 2022 Incentive Plan has been approved by a majority of the shares present or represented by proxy and entitled to vote on this proposal. Item 3, the non-binding advisory vote on the compensation of the named executive officers of the company has been approved by a majority of the shares present or represented by proxy and entitled to vote on this proposal. Item 4, the ratification of our audit committee's appointment of Deloitte & Touche as our independent registered public accounting firm for our fiscal year ending January 28, 2023, has been approved by a majority of the shares present or represented by proxy and entitled to vote on this proposal. And item 5, the authorized shares amendment has been approved by a majority of the outstanding shares of common stock entitled to vote on this proposal.
That's great news. Thanks, Mike. This concludes the business of this meeting. Is there a motion that the meeting be adjourned?
I so move.
I second the motion. The motion is carried and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you for attending today's meeting. And like Matt said earlier, we appreciate all the passion and support you, our stockholders, have for GameStop.
And this concludes today's call. We thank you again for your participation. You may now disconnect.